Is sitting really that bad for you? Of course it is. Sitting's bad for you for three main reasons, and let's talk about that a little bit. And there's probably many more reasons, but you might have heard that sitting is it's called the new smoking, which I think it's a little bit unfair. Smoking is definitely way worse than sitting, but sitting is incredibly bad for you, especially the amount that we sit. So first, biomechanically, it is really bad because you are altering all the length-tension relationships in the body. You're shortening the hip flexors. The lower back is typically put in a rounded position, so like slouched. When your lower back is slouched, it makes it much more likely that your upper back will slouch. When your upper back slouches, your head juts forward. And you're probably already jutting your head forward, focusing on your screen. That leads us to point number 2, which is focus. So typically when you're focusing on one point, which is either on your phone or on the computer screen in front of you, that focus does a lot with your eyes, your jaw, and your neck. So your neck is going to tighten because it needs stability to focus the eyes. Your body's not going to want your eyes to go all over the place. You get a headache if that happens, right? So your neck is going to buckle down and really tighten up to focus. And the reason the neck does that, when you're standing, that stability is coming from lower down in your body. It's coming from your pelvis and your spine, the rest of your spine, not just your neck. And when you're sitting, you are limiting the body's ability to call on the hips for stability. So the neck will over-tighten because it has to. The third kind of main reason why sitting is incredibly bad for you does relate to the fact that it's now being called the new smoking, and it has a very similar result as smoking, and that is circulation. Limits the body's circulatory ability. You're basically folding yourself in half, right? And you're also not moving. So for those three reasons, again, there's a biomechanic reason, there's that focus reason, and then there's the circulation reason. So I'm not just going to leave you with that, not just going to leave you with what's wrong. Remember, we want to focus on what to do about it. So I would recommend, instead of thinking about ergonomics and about how you can sit up tall and sit up straight, what I would start thinking of is taking breaks. Because, think about ergonomics. You're not going to be thinking about your position for 8 hours straight. That's just impossible, right? You're not going to be thinking that. Yeah, as soon as you focus on something, you're gonna lose sight of, you're gonna forget about your position, right? So instead of doing that, I think it's far more effective to set a timer. So set a timer for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, an hour. I've read studies recently that show that it's actually not possible to even focus longer than about 45 minutes to an hour. So that's regardless of whether or not your posture is good or bad. That's just talking about focus. So your project is going to be much more likely to get your full focused attention if you set that timer for 45 minutes, get up, take a 5-minute movement break, and then reset your timer. So hope that helps. 3 reasons why your posture, or 3 reasons why sitting is bad. And yeah, let me know your questions, 408-883-4442. Feel free to text me, 408-883-4442. Or you can reply to me. You can leave an audio message in the Anchor app, or reply to me on Facebook or YouTube. All right, thank you so much.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.